morning. Welcome to First Cup. My name is Jeremy. This is my first cup of coffee. Oh, that's new coffee. Today's August 13th, 2018, and I'm drinking this is Vermont Coffee Company's organic medium roast. Maybe I should do that. I'll tell you what coffee I'm drinking. Except that it's going to be the same for quite a few days in a row because I don't mix it up. But maybe I will. Format changes. Woke up to a couple deer in the yard, crossing the road. I think it was the two young bucks that have been on camera. And Saturday, hung out with a couple, just one, baby woodchuck that appears to be living under my woodpile. Took a selfie with the woodchuck. It was cool. Did not do a show yesterday because I woke up late. Because I was up late. And, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep doing the show on the weekends. I might. But I think if you're listening, watching, you should consider those bonus episodes. The team did amazing on Saturday. We had one member of the team at an event in Albany, New York, and she crushed it. And we had a number of other team members at an event in Claremont, New Hampshire, and they crushed it. And I spent the day refereeing on Saturday, and I would like to say that I crushed it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I had fun. I lost my voice because when I referee, I yell, put a lot of energy into what I'm doing, because I feel like I have a lot of influence on how much fun people have, how much fun the crowd has, the competitors, the other referees, the scorekeepers. I think all too often when we get into things that are kind of routine or things where our energy level doesn't have an objective impact on, let's say, rules, I think it's easy to just kind of dismiss our involvement. But I think that's the wrong way to look at it. When I coach CrossFit, I am energetic. There are days where I've lost my voice after the second class just because of the format and the amount of yelling that I do. And when I say yelling, this isn't negative or aggressive. It's just trying to bring a higher level of energy to the people that are working hard and laying it out there, whether that's a class or a training or a competition. I think I can have an impact. I want people to come away feeling like I was there with them, not just observing them. And don't get me wrong, I'm not doing this in a way that is playing favorites or anything. I still stay objective to the results of the competition. But it's more fun for me. It's very yawny. It's going to be a busy week. I am picking up a whole bunch of CrossFit classes this week, which means I will not be making it to any martial arts classes this week, which means I'm training on my own. And I don't know about you, but as much as I love training, as much as I love training on my own, it is not nearly as fun as training with everyone else, or even just one other person. If I can't, I spend so much of my energy self-motivating for so many things that my own training, I don't motivate for that. I've got a great training space. I never use it by myself. If I'm practicing forms or anything, it's in the living room, it's in I still don't know. I've been here 6 years. I don't know what to call that room. The stove room. It's the room with the stove. I think most people would use it as a dining room. But I don't have a dining table because I live by myself. I like this idea that we can have influence just in the degree of energy, the way we bring energy into our day. Whether that's bringing positive energy, high energy to people, or just being compassionate. You know, I was at a car show yesterday, and there were several people who just really wanted to talk to me. People I didn't even know. And I think part of the reason that happens is when someone starts to talk to me, even if I don't want to talk to them, you know, I have no problem saying, you know, I gotta go, or I'm going over there. But sometimes you can just tell when people need to talk. They need to share a story. There was this one man yesterday who he was packing up his RV with his wife. It was a big one, and there were jacks and pop outs, and it was a big one. And they kind of had this sitcom yelling thing going back and forth. Are you ready? What? What? You know, it was funny, and I looked over and I chuckled and ended up spending about 10 minutes talking with the gentleman about just life. And you know, he was older. He's probably in his late 50s, early 60s, and just wanted to tell me things about life and offer advice. And I listened because I'm not in a position to say you're wrong. I don't know. And I had the time to listen, so I listened. And I know that he felt good about himself because I valued his time and what he was willing to share. One of the things I find crazy in our society here in the United States is that we really discount older people. It doesn't matter how old you are. We seem to feel like if you're 20 years older, you don't know anything. You don't understand the way the world is. And sure, maybe people don't understand acute things. You know, maybe if you're 90, you don't use a smartphone. But that doesn't mean you don't know about communication. That doesn't mean you don't understand that technology changes the world. And I wish we did that differently. I wish we were more receptive to the advice, to the teachings of older people. In martial arts, we are. In martial arts, we'll gladly learn from someone who's 90 years old and a 10th degree black belt and has been training for 65 years. You know, we do tend to elevate those people and hold them in high regard and listen to their teachings. But I think that's because in martial arts, we oftentimes value things not changing, not progressing. I don't know. I find that I tend to reach out to people who are older, who know things about things. My big belief in life is that all of the problems, all the challenges come from not knowing what you don't know. See, if I know that I don't know how to change a tire, I can research, I can learn, I can understand how to change a tire. But if I don't know that tires can be changed and my car breaks down, I'm stuck. I literally have no path forward. So the more you talk to people, especially older people with lots of experience, the more you can hone in on I didn't know what I didn't know. And I actually ask people that question. What don't I know that I don't know? What information do people in my position not have any awareness of? What can you tell me? When it's maybe a technical thing, or I'm looking at signing on with a company for some kind of relationship, I'll ask them, I'll often go over to tech support, make a call. What do most of your phone calls involve? And that helps filling in the gaps. We've talked on this show about my theory that life is about narrowing up what you do or can do, should do, by eliminating things that you shouldn't do. The more you know about all of these options, the more you know what you shouldn't do. So my challenge to you today is to find some opportunity to learn something that you didn't know. And how will you know you've learned that?